Hi guys, and welcome back to Radiator Springs City Hall Part 2, or Courthouse, or Red's house. We're going to jump straight back in. I'm just going to fill in the last garage. Gold blocks at the bottom, I use snow on top. White glass blocks for the windows, so we'll do one full row of the snow block. Do one, miss a gap of two, miss a gap of three, even though I missed two that time, and then a last gap of two. Then fill in with your glass blocks. So it makes the middle one 3, the last one 2. Really we're just finishing off the main build and sprucing up a couple of little bits, but not delve in too much to the inside. So now we're going to grab our bricks and we're going to go around to the other side. We're going to get our windows done. Now we already know how high they are, so they're 5 high. And we already know to do the arches. So we're just going to fill in all of this. Bricks and windows. No windows at the back. So for now it's just a case of finishing off. Oh, excuse me. Just finishing off the main exterior of the build. So guys, there's not much I can really talk you through. We're going to be doing the window arches, but instead of using slab, because there's only 2, we just use 2 stairs upside down, and that'll create the window arches. No windows on the back wall, so it's just brick and literally quartz. When it comes to the roof, I'll show you at the time. So yeah, nice, simple, get it done. Nothing like the first part, thankfully. So as I said, for the windows you're just going to use 2 stairs. There's no need for anything else because it's only 2 wide. So you just want to use upside down stairs, back to front, each window, creating the archway. Now guys, we're going to jump over to our quartz block and we're going to be running it across from the front of the building. Oh, sorry, I jumped ahead of myself here. But anyway, just to say, when we jump to a quartz block now, we're going to be using the quartz block and we're going to be running across half of the building on the top, from the front of the building, bringing it back to the 3rd window, to the 1st pane, in line with the 1st pane of the window. So we're going to jump over to our quartz block and join it up to the front, I'm going to run it all the way back to the 3rd window, and right there we're going to stop and we're just going to put another layer on top. I'm going to do the same over the other side. So now we're going to jump over to our quartz stair. We're just going to run it across the top row of the quartz block, remembering to put one in between the front row and the side row. You jump over, do the same on the other side. Remembering to put our last one in. We're going to go jump over to our quartz slab. I'm going to use the quartz slab from where we left off with the 2 rows of quartz block, and we're just going to use that for the rest of the build. So we're going to use all of this, join it up all the way around, and that is now our roof marker. So jumping back in, we're just going to jump back to the roof. I'm just going to jump down and fill in the sides. I'm going to use a quartz block to go all the way around, fill in the gap in between the garage and the wall. Now, when I jump into the sides and I fill in on the small little garages, say here, so you can fill up to this row here, but then where I'm doing this top row across the top, I'm actually going to fill that in with the wood layer that will be the floor for the courthouse on top. So that row there will actually be wood, but we'll go over that as I get there. So guys, I've used the this wood here. You don't have to use it. Now you'll notice that I've left quite a bit of a gap. So I've left that gap there because the stairs have got to go in. It's not perfect where I've left it. That's just purely me leaving myself a marker just to say the stairs have got to go in. So where these white blocks are here, that's why I want them to be the wood instead, purely so it doesn't interrupt with the floor level of the courthouse. So jumping back in, we're going to now go into our roof build, and basically what we're going to do is fill in to the size that it is. So we're going to use a quartz block, go across the top, filling in, coming back to where our last block was. So coming out that far, and we're just going to fill it in until we're going to keep raising up a level every time. So just in keeping, I'm just going to jump across to the other side and start getting this done. Now I wouldn't worry with the stairs here because I didn't actually keep it like that. I just left it on the outsides rather than on the insides. For some reason I felt it looked better that way. So making sure you don't go too far. You only really want to be coming up to your last block really until it starts moving up a level, because then we're going to start tying into that level rather than just leaving an arch sticking out on the building. So now we're going to do the other side. So coming back in for my last row. So now we're going to jump up a level, and now we're going to start dragging these ones in, and we're going to repeat the process every time we jump up a level. Don't come out that far, literally stick to as far as I've gone already, because I want to keep the shape of the roof the way it would be on the actual original building. So jumping in, we're just going to drag these last two across. And now stepping up again, we're now going to, in the same fashion, keep doing the same for the rest of the roof at the front. And now jumping up another level. And then we're going to jump down the levels, same fashion as the other side, and just keeping the roof really in keeping with the way it should be. Now for this top rear, I'm going to be pulling the stairs across, and that's where they'd be staying. These ones I'm not bothered about, don't want them coming all the way in. Obviously if you do, it's down to personal preference. I only want them down the left and right hand sides of the building. Like I say, it is personal preference, you've got to do what feels right for you. For me it didn't feel right to have them running around the back end of the building. It just made it look a bit shoddy having two layers of stairs on different layers. So like I say, left and right, yeah. On the back, no. So I'm going to jump in and put some glowstone underneath this roof just to light up the windows a little bit, and I'm going to use literally the ones where I've got quartz blocks sticking out in the tops, so I'm going to use them as markers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then finally I'm just going to put the last one on each side, just on the inside there, and then carry them back on with our roof. So chucking in my slab underneath that layer, I'm now going to drag it all the way across and drag it across to the opposite side, not worrying about the gap in between. Drag it across, join up to the other side of the building, and now we're going to drag the next layer down, knowing that this is now where we're going to start slabbing for the rest of the building. So the rest of the roof will now be slab. guys, I'm really not sure how the inside should look. I know the top layer is the courthouse, the bottom layer is the fire department for red, and the courthouse, not so hard to find some images because it's in the first film, but the actual fire station, I have no clue, and I have no clue how it goes up to the second level, so I've left a gap for the stairs for the second layer within the wood flooring we've put in, but apart from that, I have no idea. It's going to be just personal preference how you want it, unless you're only interested in the outside, in which case pretty much we've done that. So now we're going to go quartz block and just fill in this gap now that we've just left, and we're just going to go step up a layer each time, filling in the gap. Now, as I said about the stairs, I'm just knocking them away because I prefer them to just look on the left and right hand sides, and that to me looks much better. And there you are guys, that's pretty much the outside of our building. So guys, I'm not going to make you watch, I'm just going to dig out on the very sides of our building. I'm probably just going to dig out about 10 blocks. I can't be completely sure, it's down to personal preference. I'm going to dig all the way across until we reach the other side of our building, and then joining back down. And we're just going to slab it with bricks. And literally, I'm not going to make you watch it, but inside on the garage lip, so literally this row here, we're just going to put quartz block in. I'm going to do that for all the garages, just to in keep with the original build. It's as accurate as I can keep it. So we're going to be putting in a quartz block on all of the garage, just on the first layer, and then the rest of the shape that we've dug out will then be brick, and we'll jump back and show you that now. There you have it, that's a lovely little drive, and on the front row of that we're just going to chuck in another layer of quartz block just to in keep it with the original build. Looking lovely. Now guys, down the side of the building I'm just going to be chucking steps all the way around as a marker around the building, because I thought it looked as accurate as possible, and that for me pretty good. And we're just going to run that all the way around. Now guys, you can dig out the extra layer down to the sides, now where we've stepped out, so you could put in an extra layer of brick down each corner. And for me, where I'm going to put some doors in so that we can enter the building, it's right under these two windows on each side of this third garage, in the middle garage. And I'm going to use iron doors. I do go through a few doors because there is so many more. I don't like the idea of mechanical doors, but for me I'm just going to use iron doors and pressure plates, so ignore me looking through the others, that was just me going through my options. So I'm using iron doors and pressure plates, obviously down to personal preference, got to use what you feel right with, but for me it in kept with the building pretty well. And then using pressure plates on both sides, that will then be my entranceway. So guys, I haven't done inside the building at all yet. Like I say, I'm really not too sure how to do the inside of the building, as there is no images of it. So the only thing we can really jump on from this part is Stanley's statue, which all I've done is used a cube 3x3 of cobblestone, and then on top of that cobblestone I use cobble wool for one more layer, and then I use cobble slab on top of that just to finish it off, and then put a sign on the front saying Stanley, our founder, 1909. Really just in keeping with it. If anyone has any ideas on how to do Stanley, that would be great. The only other thing I'm quite interested in doing is making red or a fire engine just to sit out on the front. But yeah, I'm quite happy with it. This now lets us now start mapping out our roads and where we're going to put out the other buildings, because as we know, this is our centre building for the road. So it's a nice starting point for Radiator Springs. And there you have it, guys. That is pretty much our city hall, courthouse, fire department, Red's house, whatever you call it or your kids call it. And guys, I'm going to leave you on that note. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Look forward to doing our next build very soon. Thanks for watching, guys.